Hey, this is Derik. This is my class reflection. I thought it was appropriate to wear the upside down Tampa hat for this. Just so to get started, when I think about how this class has influenced me in my own discipline, I think it's really interesting, especially since I'm not pursuing a teaching career. I'm not an FSU teach. I look at it from the viewpoint of my major, which is public health, and my minor being biology, and I think about it from how it's going to help me in my work life. Specifically, something from this class, being our lesson on biases, and I guess something we discussed throughout the whole course was how to create an inclusive environment, whether that being in the classroom or in the business world. I think about when I have to engage with my future coworkers or if maybe they're on my team below me, creating an inclusive environment where people feel comfortable to come to me with new ideas, something that they think would be beneficial, or come to me with issues. Maybe that is with myself, that I've an issue with myself. I've created a comfortable enough environment for everyone that they can come up to me with these issues, and we can come together and collaborate and figure out the best solution for it all. When I think about how this course has influenced how I think of teaching, again, not being from FSU teach, this is really my first time hearing about different ways of teaching and how to approach teaching. Specifically in class, we discussed culturally responsive instruction, just simply understanding what STEM is. And these two lessons specifically really opened my eyes and made me reflect on my own education and what maybe my teachers could have done in the past to create a more equitable classroom, especially in high school. That's when I really started to notice, the drop off of kids. They weren't on the same track that I was on. They were falling off. High school was the end of a lot of their STEM pipeline, and I reflect on the class with things like the Utah principles, different things on engagement and rigor, and how if my teachers maybe would have used those principles more, that it wouldn't have been the end of those kids' STEM pipeline. They would have gone on to pursue STEM fields. When I think about how this class has influenced my thinking of learners, I really think about our lesson, or the week we spent on lesson plans and creating our own lesson, or I guess not creating, fixing our own lesson. It really made me think about the different learning tools that we discussed and how crucial they are, and that if you want to be a good educator, that you need to use a wide array of these tools in order to reach the most learners. We talked about kids come from all different diverse backgrounds and all different schools of thought, and that in order to address that and be able to reach those kids, you need to use a wide array of tools. Whether that be video or, a lot of stuff we did in this classes with diagrams, stuff like that is very beneficial. When I think about how this class has just influenced how I understand myself, I think this class has made me a lot more self-reflective, looking into my own actions and how I could change something about myself in order that would help me communicate better in my work life or even in my personal life. When I think about my greatest difficulty that I experienced in this class, I think it was my greatest difficulty I faced was just making sure that I brought energy and insight to class every day. I think it was really hard for me, especially in the first few days of class, to really get out of my shell and be extroverted, but it's something that I'm very thankful for, and I think it really pushed me and helped better myself, that aspect of this course. So I would say my greatest success, or something that I enjoyed in class, was just the insight that I gained from our lectures, especially going back to the one on bias. I really enjoyed that lesson. It really made me aware of my own implicit biases, and I thought it was really insightful to learn how to acknowledge your own biases and maybe biases that are present in a classroom, and how to address those and move on. And I would say another thing that I really enjoyed, or I guess I would say I found very intriguing, was the idea of this STEM pipeline, as well as that diversity gaps we see today in STEM fields and how that affects our worlds. This was something that I thought really connected to my discipline, being public health. This is something we constantly talk about in my public health classes. We're seeing these huge health disparities in minorities, and a large part of it is due because they don't have doctors that can relate to them or truly understand what they're going through, or excuse me, looking at it from who's getting into these fields. People they don't see themselves in that field, so they don't think that they can do it. Something I thought was really cool in this class was us talking about STEM heroes every day. I really thought that was very insightful and something that I could even use in my work life. I know I'm going a little over time, but how I would describe this course is I would describe it as very collaborative, and requires you to do a lot of in-depth thinking. It pushes you to converse with your peers and gain different insights into how to teach in STEM. I would also say that this class teaches you how to make your classroom and student learning the most effective. And if there's anything I would like to share with future students, just come to class every day with a good attitude and a smile, and just be prepared to hear a lot of different opinions and to share your own opinion, because it's truly what makes this class and learning experience better. Thank you.